From Washington to Hollywood and right back to Wisconsin. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. Connecting the dots on the stories shaping our world with smart takes, sharp humor, and plenty of personality.
I really expected more professional behavior from you.
It's news and culture without the noise.
Yeah, I'm on.
Here's Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Dude.
Welcome to Nite Lite, folks. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is great to have you here with us tonight as we commence yet another edition of Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. I am Pete Schwaba coming to you live from Northeast Wisconsin, and my compadre Greg Bach is live from Radio Park and Racine, just down the coast, as we like to call it, and Dom Lee is holding down the fort in Madison. Gentlemen, how are we?
Pretty good. Not too shabby. I'm not doing too bad.
Well, pretty good.
Dom has the floor, apparently, because he's younger.
It's in a happy mood today. It's Taco Tuesday.
I was going to say,
That's
Dom.
true. It's Taco Tuesday.
Hey.
Your roommate must be so excited.
Yo, man, you better do them dishes.
Does he even know that you talk about him on the air?
He has no idea.
Yeah.
Wait,
Take that,
whoa.
Trevor or Brendan or Skylar, Kyler, Tyler.
He's not a regular
Mason.
listener?
He's not. Well, he's listened to our shows, but he's not a regular listener.
Well, and you still make him tacos. You still feed the guy.
I still feed the guy. Yes, I love him I love him. You
love him like a stepbrother.
I love him like a adopted brother who I don't see often. Maybe at Christmas every few years.
Well, happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. It is Taco Tuesday in Dom's house, and he's going to feed his roommate, even though he's not a regular listener, because that's the kind of guy Dom is.
What is happening?
He feeds people. This is great. We got a really fun show for you guys tonight. Yeah. I was in a weird mood last night because I got off the air and then I had like a whole bunch of errands to run. And I have this old Land Cruiser. It used to belong to the director, David Mamet. I'm very proud that I own his former car. Yeah, honest to God. He bought it, gave it to his nanny to cart his kids around Beverly Hills or wherever. Yeah. And then I got it from an auto auction. I wanted to buy it from her. But she had just traded in. I tracked it down and I thought maybe David Mamet's writing skills would rub off on me. That really never happened. But I have this awesome Land Cruiser. So anyway, now it's 26, 27 years old and it still runs like a champ. It's perfect, but I have a slow leak. So you ever drive around and look for air? Like I haven't done that in so long. But I go to this gas station. There is a line 3 cars deep for air in your tires.
Yeah.
It was like a 30-minute wait for air.
If you take it to a tire place, they usually a lot of times they'll take care of you. I know there's a place there is a place called Discount Tire here down by me. They got a couple locations and you just take it there. They'll fill it up and on your way.
Well, I'm going to drop it at my mechanic. I have a great mechanic. I've gotten lucky with mechanics my whole life, and I got an outstanding one here in Christmas City, USA. So I don't do anything because every time I feel like I take my car somewhere, whether it's like a Jiffy Lube type place or somewhere, they always find something else that you need to fix. And I've had it, Dom.
And Valvoline's prime example. Yeah. Sorry.
What do you mean?
Like I don't know.
The oil change place?
Yeah, the oil change place. They always add a few things. Yes. I don't know if it's really needed.
That's when you say, okay, guys, all right, let's have a moment. Let's have, well, first of all, they should not be touching your carburetor. Let's have a moment, the three of us.
Okay.
First of all, they can't do any repairs without your say-so. They say, we found this thing, just say no.
Oh, I believe.
And if you're taking your car to a place like that, Dom, and I'm not disparaging the company, all that stuff you should learn to do yourself.
Yeah.
You'll save so much money.
I've done an oil change like myself maybe 2 times in my life. But then
there you go.
But other than that, other than oil change, I need to relearn and learn.
I changed my own oil. I changed my filters. I mean, the filters alone, like the filters are so cheap to buy, but if you go to a place, it's the labor cost that kills you. Like they'll charge you twice as much as you can buy it for, and then they'll charge you on top of that for the labor. All of that stuff, oil change, checking your fluids. I mean, I'm this summer most likely going to learn how to do like brake jobs, because I am.
Good Lord.
The more and more I look at it, the less and less I want to give these companies more money than they deserve, because it's no longer just like, oh, bring it in for a realignment and a brake job or blah blah, and it's an amount of money where you say to yourself, okay, I get that, that makes sense to me. Now it's just so expensive that
right.
And they count on you not knowing how to do it yourself, or even more so, they count on you saying to yourself, oh, I can't do that. I have to let a professional do that.
I think when I was like your age, Dom, I would say, it was a fear thing. And I was young. I'm like, oh, yeah, change the air filter. If you think I don't want to get caught with a dirty air filter. But then I realized I always say no. Everything I do is through my mechanic, but it wouldn't kill me to learn how to change my own oil either. So
we'll all meet at a place. I'll show you how to do some basic stuff. It will save you hundreds of dollars a year.
Wow.
Thank you,
Greg
Greg.
Bach, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? Let's do this, because this is a perfect segue. That leads us into our question of the night. It is National Superhero Day. You can list Greg Bach if you want, based on what he just said, but let's get to the question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda. Question.
Questions.
Oh, yeah. You probably guessed. Who is your favorite superhero? Let us know. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You can also text us on the app. Or if you're listening, watching the stream that's available tonight, drop us a stream comment and be part of the show. Be part of Nite Lite, folks. We want to call this show eventually Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach and all of you.
List all of the names.
But here's the thing. You all have to go to our meetings. So anyway, let us know what your answer is to the question of the night. We have an outstanding show tonight, folks. Golnar Nikpour will be here after the news at the bottom of the hour. She is a scholar of modern Iranian political history, and she will be here to talk about her perspective on the war that's happening right now. She was a lot of fun to talk to. And then Kristen Leidy, very funny comedian, Northeast Wisconsin-based comic Kristen Leidy, will be here in the second hour. So there you go. We got some insightful Iranian stuff, some laughs. Also, folks, Nite Lite Movie Club, we are in full swing, baby. This thing is happening Thursday night again, second hour. This week's movie is Goodfellas, another classic with a lot of quotable lines, famous scenes, iconic actors.
Yep.
It's going to be a blast. Tune in second hour Thursday night. Hopefully you can join us for the whole show. But if you get a chance, watch the movie, refresh your memory a little bit, and join Nite Lite Movie Club. All kinds of fun stuff. So that's a good one. I'm looking forward to that, guys. Yeah,
that's a very good one. I will say this: if you're interested in watching it, I would also go online. YouTube has some great breakdown videos about the truth of that story, the truth of the characters.
Henry Hill. Yeah.
Oh, all of them. Like, we got a shiny version. We'll talk more about this on Thursday, but the real lowdown of the people who were the characters who were played essentially, and the history that was told that we watched versus the reality. So,
oh, that's awesome. I think I know Henry Hill is real, and I think Jimmy Conway. Right after that, I don't really know.
They were all real. They just have different names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great movie. It's Martin Scorsese at his finest, and we'll break it down and talk about some of those great lines and scenes and Scorsese's directing, all kinds of stuff. So be part of the Nite Lite Movie Club. It's going to be a fun hour, if you will. So what do you think, guys? Should we get to some news?
Let's get some news.
Let's do the news.
The first big story.
Stand-up comics under attack, Greg. As a former stand-up myself, you are a current stand-up.
Am I?
This will not stand. Jimmy Kimmel is being attacked for not knowing there was going to be an assassination attempt 2 days after he did a skit on his show. Kimmel said the joke was a light roast. Basically, he said that I'm trying to find it right here. He made a joke about Melania, saying she had the glow of an expectant widow. That's what it is. You have the glow like an expectant widow, our first lady. That says nothing about assassinations or murder. It's a talk show joke.
Well, it was also 48 hours before the event happened.
And they're blaming Kimmel. The press secretary today, Carolyn Levitt, added the word murder to it, which is totally misleading. Yeah. And let's just, and what I love about this too is Melania said, his monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive and deepens the political sickness within America. Let's talk about that. Here are just some of the words the president has used to describe the left. Speaking of political sickness, enemy within, scum, vermin, lunatics, enemy of the people, treasonous animals, degenerates, Jew haters, lowlives, Marxists, fascists, lunatics. I mean, where did this come from, Greg? And Kimmel said nothing that was close to any of that.
No, exactly. And Kimmel went on to say that, he is in no way, shape, or form, saying it should have happened. He has talked about the fact he has spoken out against gun violence for years. And he said this too in this BBC article. I agree that hateful and violent rhetoric is something we should reject. I think a great place to start would be to dial that back as having a conversation with your husband about it. And here's what I really love too is she went on to say Melania, or as Dom calls her, Melonia.
You're going to say that.
My Melonia has a first name.
Say, my Melonia. She said, quote, people like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. Well, I'd also talk to your husband and say, stop letting ICE agents enter people's home to spread hate and disgust and, that kind of thing. I mean, it all goes back to, Patricia Heaton from Everybody Loves Raymond posted something a couple days ago saying, I didn't like when Obama and Biden and Clinton were elected, but I didn't say all these. It's like, you got to stop doing that, because the moment you post that, you can find 200 examples of people on your side saying the same thing or worse. And again, what he wasn't even the same thing. Jimmy Kimmel didn't do anything but a roast joke 2 days before the event. And by the other thing too, is now the FCC is looking at ABC's license, which aren't even up for renewal until 2028. But now they're going to take another look because they feel, and here's the really funny part, guys, it's not so much about Kimmel, it's whether or not that ABC is violating anti-discrimination rules based on their corporate diversity policies.
And here's the other thing too. Whenever this was a joke, there was no mention of anything. It was just her outliving her husband because they have an age gap. That is where the joke was targeted. But and that was a joke. But whenever the president says something distasteful or stuff about grabbing women in a certain area or making fun of handicapped people, or plenty of instances where he suggested death, they all have issues taste-wise with a late night talk show. Those were what they claimed were jokes. But they were hateful thing. I mean, horribly. And okay, maybe you even say that's a joke and I don't agree with it, but you can't come after Kimmel after the president has said stuff like that. It just makes no sense.
Of course they can. They have no other choice. They wanted to, and they want to fire him. They want to show Disney, even though Disney has kowtowed to them already by the tune of like $16 million. Like, this is it's boring. And it's like, you're going after a late night host. Like, tell me you have thinner skin. My God,
we're at war.
Take your ball and go home. Yeah, we're at war right now. And you're upset about a guy making a joke? Get out of my face.
Exactly. Well said, Greg Bach. All right, we are coming right back with two more stories, folks. One of them is extremely important and deals with movie prices. You don't want to go anywhere. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach on the Civic Media Network.
Look at all the people on the live stream right now.
I know. Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have more than we normally do too.
Yep. I will be.
Wait, what do you mean we have more than we normally have?
We're live streaming to more platforms.
But we're live streaming to different ones this time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I will be writing this down for future reference.
I already like John Marie's text.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that story just irked me. Going after comedians. Come on.
Oh, and I just saw a tweet from a guy who's a law professor at Georgetown, that said if Barack Obama had a son, he definitely would have attacked the White House Correspondents' Dinner. What kind of statement is that?
Saying that the guy looked like he could have been Obama's son or something?
I have no idea. I'm just no clue. No clue.
Oh, wow. Snowflakes.
Oh yeah, Andrew from Maine brings up a great point too. Is that all these late night hosts all made fun of Obama? They all made fun of Biden, especially about his age.
Yeah, we should read that one right away because that's timely.
We should fire Kimmel for jokes he made about Joe Biden's age.
Yeah, because it hurt my feelings.
Oh yes.
Taco Tuesday, Dom. Just keep telling yourself in a matter of hours you're going to be out of here eating tacos with your non-grateful roommate.
I know. My significant other. Or I mean, my non-grateful roommate.
What now?
We are live on the stream. I can't believe you just said.
Cat's out of the bag. All right, we got 15 seconds.
Righty roo.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
All right. Welcome back to Nite Lite, folks. I'm Pete Schwaba. Greg Bach is here tonight. Dom Lee is here tonight. We're usually all here tonight. Did you play that like to soften my mood because I get ticked off when politicians and their wives attack comedians, Dom? Did you think I needed to like dial it back a little bit?
I thought he played it for me, honestly.
It was for Greg, yes. He was before the show, he was really hyped about it. So
I hear songs like that. I want to slow dance, and I don't think
God, I love that song so much. Oh, I love that song so dearly.
We got a text Greg just pointed out from Andrew who says, what are the chances we can find more than one comedic attempt or joke by Kimmel about Biden's age while he was president? I would bet greater than 50%. I would bet 100%. So
yeah.
And same thing with The Daily Show. They made fun of Biden's age all the time, and that's what this joke by Kimmel was. Anyway, we do have other stories to get to, guys. I think we should probably
all right. Going. Let's go.
The second big story.
This just in from the Hill, folks. Oh, my goodness gracious. Steak and Shake, you know that restaurant you pass on the highway and go, I didn't know they were still around, has hired a new employee, the chief Maha officer. I am not making this up. Quote, we're going back to the glory days of fast food. I can't even read it. This is
They're not lowering prices, though.
This isn't The Onion. I'm not making this up. Steak and Shake is revamping its ingredients and has hired a chief Make America Healthy Again officer, and he is going to restore the restaurant to, quote, the glory days of fast food. His name is Michael Bose. He appeared on Fox and Friends. He said, quote, our message is simple. We want Americans to eat food, and we want to go back to the glory days of fast food when that occurred. First of all, I don't know what the glory days he's talking about. Two, if you didn't say we're going to make fast food great again, you missed an opportunity. And also, third, Michael Bose just happens to be the guy who previously served as senior advisor at the Department of Health and Human Services. So, he went from Trump's office to Steak and Shake. Is that a lateral or is that up or down? I don't know.
Probably a little better if you're working for Steak and Shake. However, I used to love Steak and Shake. And you know what? Frankly, I don't have a problem with this if they really mean it. They're going to serve the Mexican, the sugarcane Cokes. Okay. That's not really health food. It's better than high fructose corn syrup. If I have soda, I try to do that. But what can you do to fast food to truly make it healthy unless you swap it all out for veggie burgers?
Well, and I'm glad you asked that question, because this story in The Hill is really just littered with all sorts of these conspiracy theories as far as like what food is good and what isn't good. And one of the things they cite is that they went from vegetable oil to beef tallow. We're talking about like beef fat, if I'm not mistaken. Also, I'm sorry, but if I drink one Coca-Cola with high fructose corn syrup, and I'm fine. If I drink 10 sodas with pure cane sugar, that's not good. Again, this is not about the ingredients per se, especially in fast food. It's about your moderation. It's about how much you're actually eating. But the other thing, too, they said in this story is, I want to find this real quick. Steak and Shake has also begun transitioning away from seed oils and microwave use in its restaurant. Seed oils are like one of the biggest things. If you go on social media and you find an influencer who talks about seed oil, they talk through their tuchus so hard on this. Seed oils are not bad for you. That is not proven. And when people tell you it's bad for you, they don't know what they're talking about. So this whole move from Steak and Shake is to suck up to the Trump administration, in my opinion, and also to say like, oh, we're gonna still serve bad for you food. We're just gonna change a few ingredients. And one more thing and then I'll get off my soapbox. I swear to God, everything that these companies have been doing in the past few years, like putting in like high fructose corn syrup or bad chemicals or whatever, the stuff that's in our food every single day. Those companies fought for years in lobbying and laws to get that done so they could loosen the regulations, so they could put whatever they wanted in there and charge more. Like, this is just the biggest ridiculous story to me. They are sucking up to the Trump administration, and they just sound like a restaurant. Like, I swear to God, Joe Rogan will plug this place soon.
Well, that's so funny you said that. I see grift all over this. Like, a guy's leaving. This is like the lobbyist that leaves his government job and then cashes in as a lobbyist and is a high-powered This guy is doing that for Steak and Shake. And now it's, people, beef tallow. Oh, they got beef tallow. We got to go there. Okay, why don't you look up what all this stuff is first? But, whatever. Both sides do it. When they leave government, they make money, lobbying money. But this is kind of like, you're right, Joe Rogan's going to do it. They'll be selling beef tallow and they'll be buying stock in Steak and Shake. Yeah. This is like free advertising. I mean, whatever. It's commonplace.
It's just to get a story. It's just to suck up. Like the fact they hired a guy from Health and Human Services to help us eat better. It's just so absolutely insane. I cannot. Chief Maha Officer. God. How come I'm not more like I should be rich? I'm smarter than that. My goodness. Sorry. So frustrating.
You're going to have to play some Seals and Crofts again, Tom, because Greg is all riled up. So let's get to our third story before he pops a stitch.
The third big story.
Greg, very simply, movie prices.
Yeah.
Recently, movies went up to $50. I'm not trying to use the fear issue here, but people that wanted to see Dune 3 on opening night in New York City paid $50 to see it on 70 millimeter. That's a high, and they sold out in minutes. Yeah. Now, I don't mind paying a little bit extra for my movie tickets so I can go and sit down whenever I want to. And when you pay a little more, you don't have people being loud around you. Typically, they're better patrons, but this is crazy. However, the good thing is regular movie prices are still $12.75 at your local Cineplex, and I got that kind of money.
Wow. Okay.
Is there a movie though? Really quick. We got to go really quick.
Yeah.
Really quick. Yes or no? Is there a movie you'd pay, a new one, not a classic, no Q&A, just a movie? Is there any movie you'd pay $50 to see?
It's hard to say because you don't know that until after you see the movie. Sinners, one battle after another, I would have paid $50 to see.
Okay. All right.
But if you know that going in, you never do.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
All right. Golnar Nikpour will be here, folks. Our resident Iranian scholar. She will be here after the news. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Jasmine in my mind.
I just responded to Dave's text message.
What was that? I didn't see that.
He asked why we're not online today.
Oh, Dave listens online a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's a good listener. Thank you.
Makes me feel fine.
How did you respond to him? I don't see your response.
Yeah, so If you look where he says, "Why aren't you online today?" and it says YouTube, above there's a link, a blue linked link that says, if you click that leads you to the text conversation, and you can actually respond and talk to them.
I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right. Super secret happy fun sauce show.
Yeah. Or it's just the three of us.
I know,
Just the three of us.
Really? There's nobody listening on the stream right now, right?
Let's say whatever we want. I didn't like The Big Lebowski. It's overrated.
Oh, I cannot wait to discuss. That's a great. Okay, so it's Ted Lasso with me and Lebowski with you. Obviously, you're wrong, but it would be fun to.
Oh boy!
Oh man,
boy. Sorry, I'm not a fan of really long movies with characters that go nowhere and really just bore me out of my brain.
I thought you liked Ted Lasso.
Hey,
maybe that's a benchmark.
What?
Pete and Greg disagree or something. We pick a song.
Point, counterpoint?
Yeah, something like that, but funnier and more lighthearted, you know.
Nite Lite arguments.
And we could even stage something where you just hear equipment being wrestled around, like we're in a fist fight or something. Except everybody knows we're not.
Well, then Dom puts up a little thing that says we're having technical difficulties. Like, we'll be right back.
We come back, my arm's in a sling. Greg's got a patch on his eye. Somehow even Dom has a neck collar on. Like, how did that happen? Brett, man, I wouldn't pay $50 to see a movie even if I was in it. All right. Well, I guess I'll see you boys back here in about half.
34 minutes.
I will return.
All right.
All right, guys.
Okay.
See you guys in a bit.
Welcome back to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. I am Pete Schwaba, coming to you live from Northeast Wisconsin. Just down the coast is Mr. Greg Bach, coming to you from Radio Park in
Dom Lee holding down the fort in Madison, producing the show. We are the Otter Hay Triangle, and it is great to have you with us tonight. It is my pleasure to welcome our first guest of the night. She is a scholar of modern Iranian political and intellectual history with a particular interest in the history of law, incarceration, revolution, and women's rights. Golnar Nikpour joins us now on Nite Lite over the stream. Good evening.
Hi there. Thanks for having me, Pete and Greg.
Well, it is our pleasure. I hope you're having a great day, and I'm looking forward to having you enlighten us and give us a perspective we might not have had yet regarding the Iran conflict here. So just jumping right in, can you give us a little bit of your background? And I know you were born in Iran, but tell us how you got to this point in your life in a thumbnail, if you could.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. I was born in Iran in the early 1980s, so amid the Iran-Iraq War. And, I spent the first several years of my life there before my family came to the U.S., where we lived around New York State, eventually settled on Long Island. I professionally got interested, or I should say intellectually got interested in Iran as a college student. I didn't think I would be a historian when I started college, but I took a class and then another class. I was interested in the politics of the world and in U.S. politics, but also interested in Middle Eastern history, Iranian history, sort of going back further than the modern period too, and just got sort of passionately interested in the topic of history. I realized at some point that history at the higher level is not like I never liked history as a high school student because you just have to learn, kind of memorize names and dates. But once you get a little bit further along, you see that it's a lot about reading and analysis and critical thinking and trying to figure out what things actually mean. There's not one concrete answer sometimes, but you try to work through the details and figure it out in a way that makes sense. So that's still what I do. I just kept putting one foot in front of the next until I got to this point where I'm now at Dartmouth College. And I have to say, since you've given me this opportunity to talk a little bit about myself, I'm particularly gratified to be on this show because I lived in Madison for a few years. I was a postdoc at the University of Wisconsin at Madison, and I love Wisconsin. So I'm really happy to be on the show today.
I was going to ask you about that, so I'm glad you mentioned that. That's great.
Well, that's lovely. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And really, we appreciate you being on the show because, I am a child of I am born in the late 70s, and I grew up with the presence of Iran in my life, but always being fed information, whether it's from politics, whether it's from the news, whether it's from family, or whatever that may be. But as far as Iran now, what is modern life in Iran like right now versus what we are told it's like, our perceptions versus the reality, even in the face of this war happening right now. But what are the things that Americans need to know about Iran and Iranian life?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, in some ways, that's my own interest in studying Iran and has been since I was, in my teens, is trying to get a understanding of what's really true about this place that I spent part of my childhood in, but that, once I came to the U.S., I got a very different sort of upbringing and education on the country. So I would say that the first thing that I always tell people who are interested in learning about Iran beyond the headlines is that it's a big country and it's an extremely diverse country in a way that I don't think that most people in the US have a clear sense of. In the first place, it's 93 million people total. And that's not including a diaspora outside of the country of some 6 or 7 million, to the best of our ability to count it. So maybe 100 million people who call themselves Iranians all over the world. But those people are enormously diverse. They have dozens of different linguistic backgrounds. So Persian or Farsi, that's the same language, is the main language of the country and the one spoken by its government and in schools. But only about 50% of the Iranian people speak Persian at home because the country has historically been extremely diverse, many different dialects, many different languages. Some of the ones you may have heard of are Azeri Turkish or Arabic or Kurdish, but there's so many small sort of groups that speak different languages, even if they have a common cultural heritage, there's still distinct sort of ethnic, linguistic, religious, and certainly political identities throughout the country. So there's, I'm always suspicious or skeptical when people say Iranians want this or Iranians are like that, because we're talking about lots of. It's a country maybe not quite as big and diverse as the U.S., but on some level, we should think of it more like that than like a monolith, right? Where you can really get radically different views depending on who you're talking to, depending on their class background, their ethnicity, but also just their worldview, if they're a city person, a country person, so you have this very distinct kind of diverse place. The other thing I would say that is extremely sort of important to understand is that I think a lot of people in the US don't quite grasp is that for whatever we may think of Iranian government, which is indeed authoritarian, it has invested a great deal into the development of the country and its infrastructure. So that's why this sort of, that would be something to talk about when we get into the war, is this kind of war on infrastructure that we've seen. But, I've seen Americans and my students even say over the course of the last several weeks that they're surprised to see all the things, when they see the images of what has been bombed or what has been sort of targeted, they're surprised at how sort of modernized the country is, because the impression that people have is of this very sort of religious and maybe even sort of steeped in the past type of place. But it's invested in, like Tehran has beautiful subways and streets and cafes where you can go get like complicated coffee drinks, just as you would hear like third wave kind of like.
Oh, thank goodness. Whoosh.
Are they as expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like any country that has sort of big cities and country life, what you see is going to depend on where you are. So there's rural Iran, there's mountain Iran, there's big city Iran, and Tehran is a big global cosmopolis, some 20 million people. So again, it's one of the things I think people are least accustomed to thinking about, is just that it's an incredibly rich in terms of cultural heritage, artistic heritage, literary, film heritage place, and it's incredibly developed in ways that I think we don't quite always take into account. And it is a highly educated country in terms of literacy rates, in terms of education rates. All these things are part of the social fabric of the country over the last decades.
Our guest is Golnar Nikpour. She is a scholar of modern Iranian political and intellectual history with a particular interest in the history of law, incarceration, revolution, and women's rights. She joins us here on Nite Lite and is sort of enlightening us a little bit about what's happening in Iran during this war and her background. I think for me, just the most horrible thing about this conflict so far, Golnar, is the bombing of the girls' school in Manav, the Israeli airstrike. The news cycle changes so much, and it's the Strait of Hormuz. Is it open? Is it not? I can't believe that's not still, and maybe it is in Iran, but how have people, are they still talking about there? Is there outrage over that one incident? Because I'm not seeing, like, on the news, at least not in the American media, that much outrage from Iran. And I can't tell if that's from our news media or where people are at with that.
Yeah, that's a great question. The bombing of the girls' school in Minot was absolutely foundational to how Iranians are perceiving this war. And the country is absolutely still mourning the deaths of those children. It's been in the news in Iran constantly, consistently, including memorials to each child, and their names have been circulated and so forth. And I think that it was a sort of foundational moment. I should note that to the best of our ability to know, the sort of military experts who look into these things believe it was a U.S. airstrike and not an Israeli one, because it was a U.S. Tomahawk missile, which the Israelis don't have. So yes, I think there's a huge gap between how people in the U.S. have experienced the trauma of that girls' school being bombed and people in Iran. I've even seen people who were maybe, because of their opposition to the Iranian government, to some extent, and their exhaustion with, not knowing how to move forward, they were sort of not certain how they felt about the bombing initially, but as soon as that girls' school was hit, there was a sense, okay, war actually means the death of ordinary people, civilians, little kids, so these are images that are circulating. And when the Iranian national soccer team played a match just a few weeks ago, they held little backpacks to signify, and that was from the reporting, their own decision. I mean, they wanted to sort of say that they were playing on behalf of those little ones who had been killed. And so I think, that's one of those things that has made an enormous impression in Iranians' hearts across the political and social spectrum, and has really hardened. You see a rally around the flag effect with things like war, and the Mina bombing made that happen right away, where people were really quite disturbed and grieving the loss of those lives, and that hasn't been quite as even on the first couple of days after the bombing, there was not quite as much first page news about this mass casualty incident as you think that there would be, and really one of the worst sort of mass civilian death incidents instantiated by the U.S. military in decades. I saw some people say the worst since Vietnam. I saw other scholar myself. I won't say definitively which one that is the case, but I could certainly, one would certainly like to see more. And one of the things that I hope as a scholar to be able to do is to keep a kind of, the memory of those civilian lives lost on the table, because hopefully for us to understand what happened and to learn from it, we have to look at what actually happened quite closely. And I'm not sure that we've publicly done that as the broader American citizenry. But on the Iranian side, yes, that is, and it's been used by the government as well. So on the one hand, it's been sort of effective propaganda for the government, but I think also genuine kind of outpouring of rage and grief from all walks of life among Iranians about people who very clearly are innocent, right? Like small children who have no way to protect themselves.
We only have about a minute before we have to go to break. I'm going to piggyback off of something Pete says. What is something that that our media often gets wrong about Iran, whether it's misconception or just the way it's presented?
Well, I think the things I said about the Iranian populace hold true. But as far as the government itself, which of course has been an enemy of the United States government since 1979, we tend to think of it, we'll hear American leaders or media call it like the Ayatollah, the regime, whatever, and they'll often talk about the Ayatollah. But in fact, Iran's government, again, regardless of what your position on it may be, is actually quite complex. And it's not about one guy. It is about one person at the top, but it's actually quite systematic. And many, many people have responsibilities, military, security, civilian, state building responsibilities. And it's for that reason that you can't just decapitate it and expect the whole thing to collapse. So I think that's very clear that the current administration doesn't quite grasp that about the system in Iran.
Very well said. We'll have more after a very short break with our guest. She's a former Madisonian, folks, Professor Golnar Nikpour. We are coming right back on with more Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach on the Civic Media Network. Welcome back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach coming to you over the Civic Media Network. Great to have you with us tonight. We are in the middle of a talk with our guest, Golnar Nikpour, who is she is a scholar and a professor, and she's even spent time in Madison, Wisconsin. She is enlightening us on the Iran war. Professor, tell us about your book. And you could probably spend a long time on this, but I mean, why have prison situation, why has that gotten so much worse in Iran?
Yeah, so really what my book is about the making of the modern prison system in Iran. And what really surprised me, and the sort of, if I could say that there's one thing that the book is about, I mean, I spent 10 years on it, so I could probably say it's about more. Wow. But if there's one thing that it's about is that, I found that we all know, we hear about Iranian prisons all the time. And even now, as the war continues, there are a 250,000 people incarcerated in the country, although that's everyone. I mean, that's the full carceral sort of group. But what I've learned is that if you go back even to the 1920s, which is really, I mean, just a century ago, right? We're talking about a place that had only a few hundred people in forced confinement. And if you go even just a little before that, a decade or two before that, it would have been a tiny number, dozens or even 100 or 200. So how do we go from Iran being a place where prisons are really not a big part of the punishment apparatus? There's no such thing as sort of long-term forced confinement. Of course, there's punishment and there's executions, but there's not really modern prisons as we understand them. To being a country where there's now, as I said, about 250,000 prisoners. So my book tries to uncover how that infrastructure gets built. And what I'm trying to make the case for in the book is that, Iran has, over that 100 plus years that I study, 3 really distinct different governments, 2 different monarchies, and then a revolution that brings about the Islamic Republic. There's coups, there's 2 coups, there's 2 revolutions. It's an enormously sort of transformative era in Iranian politics. But all the same, the sort of prison infrastructure undergirding those governments only increases in size and expands and sort of grows, regardless of what type of government is in power, right? So there's exponential numbers of prisoners beginning when the Iranians start building the modern prison system in the 1910s and 20s and 30s until today. And what I uncovered is that a lot of this is being done in conversation with these trends happening all over the world and with models coming first from European context and then from the American context. So a number of the prisons in Iran today are built on blueprints based on actually a prison in the Midwest, a prison called USV Marion in Illinois. So that was something that I found as well. I mean, those prisons were built before the revolution with sort of at an high era of aid and help and technical help between the US and Iran. But basically, Iran's story is not unlike other carceral states. This is not actually very different from the US story either. Prisons are a modern phenomenon all over the world. Of course, there's forced confinement, dungeons, and so forth at earlier times, but not these big, sprawling carceral sort of systems. Mm-hmm. And once you build the system, once you put laws on the books that mandate that you have to incarcerate people for certain periods of time, the prison system expands and grows. And so my book is trying to make sense of the ways in which we shouldn't think of Iran as an exceptional space, that it has these prisons because of its medieval kind of Islamic politics, but rather as a quintessential modern carceral state that uses prisons, surveillance, policing to control trouble populations. Now, in the context of contemporary Iran, some of that process, or much of that process, has the veneer of Islamic legitimacy. But the technology and or they're trying to give it that veneer, right? But the technologies and the practices are actually global, right? So I'll give you one quick example to illustrate what I mean. Iran started during the pandemic, actually, in 2020, using traffic monitoring cameras to issue tickets and summonses for the typical things that happens here, like traffic cameras might catch you speeding or running a red light, but also added to that, sending tickets to people, to women who were alleged to have violations of the hijab law. So you see the way in which, when I say that this is a global process, it doesn't mean that it's identical to other places in the world, but that the technologies, whether it's the prison itself, so USB Marion model being used, or technologies like ankle monitors, traffic surveillance cameras today, those are used for the specific needs of the government in that moment. But if you only look at what's happening internally, you miss a bigger picture of carceral economies, of private companies that are selling surveillance tech, of all sorts of things that are happening around the world. And that if we exceptionalize Iran and sort of imagine that what's happening over there is only because of something pathological about Iranians or Islam or whatever, we actually miss all of these connections that help us see the way in which our struggles are linked, the way in which these histories are linked, and try to and miss the connections that can help us imagine a different future together, one that's more free for everyone.
Boy, this has been great stuff,
amazing.
Professor. Yeah, thank you so much. Check out Gulnar Nikpour's book. It's The Incarcerated Modern Prisons and Public Life in Iran. In like 20 seconds, do you get back there ever? And do you have plans to go back?
Well, I'm not sure when I'll get to go back, given the current context of war. I mean, people in general, there's difficulty going in and out, and that might be the case, especially if bombing begins again. I haven't had a chance to go back since before the pandemic, and I'm not sure if and when I'll get to go back, but I do hope I can. Iran is a beautiful country, and I miss it. It has just untold numbers of natural beauties and human beauty too. So hopefully I'll get a chance to go back there at some point soon.
Well, please come back here anytime you want.
I'm happy
it's
anytime.
Been really insightful and fun talking to you and great meeting you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Greg, Pete, and Dom. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
You got it. All right, we are coming right back for hour number 2 of this edition of Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. Don't go anywhere. This is the Civic Media Network.
Trying to make sense of the world? You've got Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Call our toll-free number now.
Headlines, culture, and real conversation.
And now, our feature presentation.
Here's Pete and Greg.
Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. You can always get in touch with us. Give us a call, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You could also text with that number as well. You could also text, call, leave a voice message, listen to shows live. You can get your news by downloading the Civic Media app. It's absolutely free. So see what I did there, Pete? See what I did there?
That sounds too good to be true.
There you go. I mean, in this day and age, I mean, what am I talking about now? Yeah. Man, you never catch me, copper. That voice, by the way, is the wonderful, stupendous, award-winning, I have to assume at this point. You've got to have won awards, right? You've gotten, like...
Me?
Yeah, you. That's Pete Schwaba. Yeah, Pete Schwaba up in Marinette, Wisconsin, a.k.a. Christmas City, USA. And then all the way over in Madtown, USA at HQ, world headquarters of Civic Media is Mr. Dom Lee on the ones and twos. We're here with you in the second hour of Nite Lite. So happy you're a part of this. Got great things coming up, including a great conversation with our friend Kristen Leidy, stand-up comedian, union organizer, and just all-around good human being. She'll be on the program in just a little bit, and then we'll wrap everything up with the nightcap where we figure out what we learned and kind of, just have our moment, like, the night's lesson, if you will. We'll kick back, enjoy, and there'll be like a shooting star that just says, the more you know, and then we'll get sued by NBC, so...
Right. They'll want to take us off the air.
Well, I mean, hey, it's FCC is going after ABC. Well, let's be cool and be next. Come on now. All right, so we are in the second hour, which means we are going to take a look again at the question of the night. But before we do that, Dom, can you set us up?
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
The question of the night is, it's National Superhero Day. Who is your favorite superhero? Again, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You can leave a comment on the live stream. We are currently streaming on, if you're interested in looking at the live stream, we are currently on a lot of Facebook pages. And I think one YouTube page. There's a gubernatorial forum going on right now in Civic Media, and they are covering that live if you are looking for that as well. But stick here for a little while.
Rudely cutting into our listenership.
Be our friends. Be our friends. You're our friends. We knew you first. Exactly. But that is the question of the night. Who is your favorite superhero? And let's start with this crowd right here. Pete Schwaba, what about you?
You know what? I went back and forth. Some people are saying their parents or their dad or their mom, and I get that, and that's great. And I thought about that because my parents are my heroes, but superhero? Yeah. My parents are not superheroes. No. Sorry, mom and dad, you're not. As much as I love you. But no, I went Batman because Batman, here's the method behind my madness.
Okay.
Batman is a regular dude. No superpowers necessary.
He's not a regular dude, Pete.
But he doesn't have magical powers like Superman does or Flash or Spidey. Batman is a dude who is angry and he's a vigilante, and that works for me. And he's got the dark costume on, and he taught himself. You got to make a few leaps as to what he could get through, but it's all grounded somewhat in reality.
I mean, also it doesn't hurt that he's worth $10 billion.
Well, sure, he couldn't pull it off without. Absolutely.
I mean, there's no such thing as poor Batman.
No, but like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, George Soros, all those billionaires, they have super.
None of them could jump over anything. Their cars suck. Okay, cool. Exactly. I mean, that's a solid answer, and that's not only a solid response, but a solid reasoning. I've heard a lot of people say that over the years. Dom, what about you?
Does John Wick count or no? Because
it's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you want it to be. I mean, apparently, the both of you are going very revenge tonight, I guess. Woof.
Yeah.
My goodness.
It's along lines of Pete. He's just kind of like a normal dude, but he really
is Pete your superhero, Dom?
Pete's, you guys are both my superheroes.
Reviews are coming up. Is Pete your superhero? Oh wow, he's kissing his sleeves,
kissing my non-guns,
kissing my derringers. If you know guns, you know that reference. All right,
derringers. Oh, nice.
Oh boy. Okay, so John Wick for you, the Batman for you. I am going. Thanks for asking. I am going to go with.
You think I don't care who your favorite superhero is?
I mean, now that you said it, but point is for me, it used to be Batman, but I've come around to Captain America, and I was
that's a good one.
And my friend Nick on my Facebook page said he agrees with me, or he has similar reasonings, I should say. The thing I know, I love Captain America, but what I really love about it, after listening to someone discuss the origins of the character, is that his beliefs in freedom, in democracy, in the when we talk about the greatness of America, a lot of times you can say that with a tongue in cheek, because as great as we want it to be, there's a lot of problems. Well,
Sure.
How he views America, as far as all the reasons we fought World War II, for freedom, for justice, for the rights of all to be great and on, they never change. So when he was fighting in World War II, those were his morals. As he got older and the morality of the people around him changed on what the definitions of freedom were and all those things, his never changed. His was always about, this is a country where you're supposed to be free and be able to, be good to one another and help and all those good things. And his morality never changes ever, unless he's with Hydro. That's a different storyline. That's the point is that, but I just love the fact that Captain America's his sense of values are always rooted in a certain type of morality, and those don't change no matter how the world changes around him. And to me, that's amazing.
Yeah, that works. I love Captain America, and we're seeing some. Well, I think we should go to Dom first. Did you want to?
What
the text line? Is it the text line?
No. I'm asking you who your favorite superhero is.
We already asked him. He just said that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to read. Sorry, I'm barely paying attention.
I can tell. My goodness.
But I got distracted because one of the texters, Tony the Trucker, put Wonder Woman on my brain because he said, "Gentlemen, Wonder Woman, because all women are wonderful. Some are just more wonderful than others." That could have been its own question of the night, because you got Linda Carter, one of my all-time favorite crushes, and Gal Gadot, who I thought was outstanding as Wonder Woman as well. And
so it's really just a 50-50 shot on who's your favorite Wonder Woman.
It's a coin toss. I would go Linda Carter still.
Linda Carter is a great follow on Twitter, by the way. She does not hold back. I think I've said this before.
That. Yeah.
Did
you ever watch that Kiss thing I told you about with her?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What did you think of that?
It was weird.
She comes off smelling like a rose, though, whereas Kiss is like, whoa.
Oh, well, because Kiss is weird. I don't.
Word.
Whatever. All right, so we got Tony. What other text messages do we have running right now there, Dom?
All right, we have John from Madison said underdog, pops a pill, probably fentanyl, kicks butt,
God.
puts away the bad guys, and lands in paws of white hot poly purebred. Doesn't get any better than that. Wow.
Yeah,
that's a good argument.
Okay, well, that's
thank you, John.
I know someone writes some fan fiction. Go on now.
We have Brett from Brown Deer said, my favorite superhero was always Spider-Man from the comics until the movies. Tobey Maguire was too wimpy.
What?
In the movies, I'll take Iron Man. I like how Robert Downey Jr. played the part.
I'd like to know why he thinks Tobey Maguire was too wimpy versus Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland or the characters in the, like, he was always kind of like, as Peter Parker, he was always kind of, he was a teenager. He was a wimpy teenager. That's,
you know what? I kind of liked, I never knew how I felt about Tobey Maguire, but sometimes you find out something about someone and it makes you root for them a little more. My buddy Pat Francis, who did respond to this question on social media, he went to see Spider-Man when it first came out, the first Tobey Maguire one, at a place called The Grove in LA. And he's looking around for a seat. And who does he see standing in the corner in the back of the theater? Tobey Maguire on the phone going, "It's packed. This is so cool. I love this." It's just like a regular dude, very excited. And he'd already done big movies. But and Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man's a kid. He's not a big tough guy. He's supposed to be just kind of a regular dude. I think that totally fits. Yeah,
absolutely. So yeah, I mean, but all opinions are welcome.
Of course,
Brett.
yeah, absolutely.
What else we have on the text line there, Don?
Yeah, Brett also says, "Man, I wouldn't pay $50 to see a movie, even if I was in it."
All right.
Okay.
Then we got Jewel from Cross Plains said, "Golnar is a great guest. Tell her thank you." Very true. Yeah. And then we also got Nick from Marshall said, "I chose The Flash." That's a really good answer. That's a really good answer.
I like The Flash.
I mean, I'll take The Flash. The comic book, not so much the movie version. That's odd.
Okay.
Was there odd?
And then we also have Eric from Madison said Wonder Twins, which I'm not too certain what the Wonder Twins are.
That's when. Were they the ones that said unite or something like that?
Wonder Twins activate in the form of, and then they would change into a form of like Bunny Rabbit or Rocket Ship. It was very convoluted and weird. The Super Friends were it was like a bunch of adults saying, "What do kids like?" And then they just missed the mark completely. So
I had no idea.
Yeah.
We also have Tyler from Wisconsin Rapids says Ron Perlman as Hellboy or Underdog or both.
Whoa.
Wait. Ron Perlman as Underdog, because I'd watch that movie.
As Hellboy or Underdog or both. And then we also have Anna from Madison said, "My favorite superhero is Superman. My favorite in the best Superman is Christopher Reeves. I saw the Michael movie. MJ's nephew did a great job portraying him. Coleman Domingo was great as Joe Jackson."
Yeah. Okay.
Great actor.
I love Coleman Domingo. Great.
Yeah,
I love
same.
his hosting stint on SNL was really good past couple weeks ago. But I'm going to steadfast with my belief on this movie and that no thank you. So
going to the social media comments, Mike Desatel says, my mom was stay at home and raised 5 children to become self-sufficient adults who love freely and respect others. My dad worked harder than any person I know and had time still for each of us, his community, and his faith. I put my superheroes up against anyone. Sorry, Mike. They can't beat Batman. That is a lovely text, though. Thank you.
Are your parents as rich as Batman?
But then Mike says, otherwise, definitely Batman.
Otherwise, I like my superheroes rich, privileged, and angry. Therapy is for dorks.
And then Mary Ash just posted, she's got Flash, but Flash is a woman. I like that. Is she making a statement there, which is fine? Or was there a character I didn't know about?
I'm sure. I mean, the Flash as played, I'm sure in the annals of comic books, there are so many versions of the Flash, or so many versions of characters that are played that have a like there's a Spider Woman, there's Supergirl, there's Batwoman, Batgirl, there's all like they're always switching all these different things. As far as there was one on the TV show, there was the Flash. It shows a bunch of different versions. There's other characters, but that's great.
That's a great one. Stacey Sue says,
Lady Flash sounds weird though.
It does.
Girl Flash?
No,
girl?
just the Flash.
That doesn't sound good either. Aquaman. Stacey Sue says Aquaman, love it. Our friend Amanda Nimmer says Squirrel Girl. I've not heard of Squirrel Girl.
That's a deep cut, Amanda.
Okay.
Deep cut.
Matt Harper, rock rap artist from Green Bay, says Rocket Raccoon, and Pat Francis, Captain America. We'll get to some more of these texts later, maybe during the nightcap.
There we go.
Great
all
stuff,
right, when we come back, we're going to be talking to our friend, stand-up comedian, all-around good person, union organizer, Kristen Leidy is coming up in just a little bit, so don't go anywhere. You are listening and or watching Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. Stay tuned. Stay close.
Hero. Kristen Leidy's here.
Hey, Kristen Leidy.
Hello, how are y'all doing?
Doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm in my new house.
Oh,
hey, nice.
New. Oh my gosh, it's like someone's just like all these cool things happening.
It is. I'm getting married on May 29th.
That's already wow. Wait, when did you get engaged?
Yeah.
You guys got engaged like fairly recently, right?
Yeah, we got engaged in December. And then we thought, let's just do it small. So we're having a ceremony at Lion's Mouth Books and then a party at Jake's Pizza, maybe
there
75 people, just
love it.
Do you have my address, Kristen?
yeah.
Let's do a live broadcast from Kristen's wedding.
My phone number is I cannot speak higher praise for small weddings, especially when you're, instead of saying, oh, we got engaged, we're getting married in 2.5 years. Like, why do that? That's just sounds
what's the rush?
Well, it's my second one, so I don't know. I feel like my family has no expectations for me. They're like,
honey, don't have a big wedding this time, please. Yeah, that's not cool. I do think you told me about this last time you were on, but I thought it was the wedding, but it was the engagement. Now, the more I think about it, so congratulations, that's exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Did it take you a while to pick the bookstore you wanted?
Actually, I was just because it's where I spend most of my time, and I was kind of like, oh man, I don't know where I'm going to have a wedding, and then they were like, why do you have it here? And I was like, okay, sold.
Done and done. There we go.
Yeah. Nice. That's how much time I spend at the bookstore. So.
There you go.
All right, we have about 30 seconds. And then, Kristen, this is just 7-minute, 30-second segment, all right? And then we have hard break, so I'll go 3 minutes. That's 2 minutes. And when it hits 1 minute, that means kind of finish up whatever your last comment is about, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect. All righty, guys. 15 seconds.
Okay. Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. You can always call or get in touch. Text numbers the same, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on that live stream. We are currently streaming on every Facebook page possible, it seems. We are on a bunch of them. And also, let us know your thoughts on your favorite superhero. That's the question of the night. It's National Superhero Day. So who is your favorite superhero? It could be your mom, your dad, a teacher. It could be a comic book character. It could be a movie character who spends every single one of his films absolutely decimating his enemies. But whatever that may be, let us know. Leave a comment on the live stream. Text it in. You can also get in touch with us via the Civic Media app. You can call, text, leave a voice message, listen, get your news all right there. Download that Civic Media app. And coming up in just a little while, we will get into the nightcap where we wrap things up, talk about what we've learned, and hear from you, your thoughts on the show. So don't go anywhere. We're hanging out. Yep. Yes, Pete?
Movie night, buddy. We got movie night coming up.
You're right. You're right. My God, I told myself to remember that. Thank you very much. That voice, by the way, was Mr. Pete Schwaba all the way up in Marinette, a.k.a. Christmas City, USA. And in Madison at HQ, we got Mr. Domley on the ones and twos. But that's right. Pete's talking about movie night this Thursday. We are talking about the Martin Scorsese classic, Goodfellas. We'll be talking about the film, trivia, all sorts of great things. That'll be in the second hour. So watch the movie. Come on by. Stop by. Let us know your thoughts on it. We'd love to hear from you. But that's this Thursday for Nite Lite's Movie Club. Now, without any further ado, I would love to. I am happy to. I am excited to bring on our next guest. She is a stand-up comedian in Green Bay, a union organizer, and an all-around great person, frequenter of local bookstores. Kristen Lighty is back on Nite Lite. Good evening, Kristen. How are you?
I'm so good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I feel like we should christen this segment Nite Lighty. Or Nighty Lighty.
Oh, nice.
Not Nighty Lighty, just Nite Lighty. Nite Lighty sounds better. Nighty Lighty sounds weird. But yes, that's what we're going to call it now when you're on the show. Welcome back to the show, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Really, I mean, despite the fact that the world's a nightmare, my personal life is really good.
That's what really matters.
That's where I'm at too. Like my friend asked me, she said, "How are you doing today?" So I go, "I'm doing fine." And I'm happy about that. It's not great. It's not bad. I'm just fine and I'll take it. I'm good with that. I'll take fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I've been doing recently, Kristen, is when I see these, reels pop up on Instagram, whatever, somebody is putting reels together like in the 70s and 80s before cell phones. And I love watching those. And it really does help me think about what life was like. Now, listen, I love my cell phone. I like certain things about it, but I hate how glued to it I am, even though I put it down for stretches. But it takes you back. It's fantastic. thinking about those times.
Yeah, I love any movie set in the 1980s where my brain can just go, oh, yeah, that was great.
we were watching this movie this weekend, an Italian film. Yeah, that's right. I'm cultured. And I know, thank you. It's all about one woman's night, basically her day and night. It's a one day, like, slice of life film. And the whole time I'm just sitting there going, like, she's talking about, like, my mother doesn't know where I am. I'm like, man, there was back in the day when if you weren't home by a certain time, your parents actually worried about you, or you might get in trouble. All you have to do now is just be like, be home soon. That's it. That's all. But like, yeah, I just think whenever I watch those movies now, I'm like, oh, those so old me. Them's was the days. Oh, good Lord.
Mm-hmm. The ability to just space out without a cell phone and be lost and have people not care where you were. Like, God, I crave that a lot.
So somebody said, it's the 80s when you were 10 years old, babysitting the neighbor's 4 kids, and one of them was under a year old.
Yeah.
Like, that's so insane. Well, go ahead, Greg.
I was going to say, there's that Mulaney joke that totally hits with me. When I was a kid, like, I was like 11 years old. My babysitter was like 13. And you're like, did my parents actually care about my well-being and safety? Probably not. They just wanted to go play poker. That's just,
They're trying to set you up, it sounds like.
Okay.
The other day, I drove by the Red Cross and I was like, oh, that's where me and a room full of 11-year-olds got certified to be in charge of other children. And kind of learned CPR, but not really.
That's so great.
Red Cross.
Right. Kristen, you have a huge date coming up we need to discuss. Not the one we discussed off the air, but comedically speaking, you've got a gig you need to tell us about.
Oh, yeah. It's Sunday evening at Heroes in Two Rivers, and it's put on by the Mad World Artists Collective and Manus Productions, who are a group of people like really doing great things for comedy and music in Green Bay. And I love them so much and really support everything they're trying to do. So it's while we're waiting for the Mad World Artists Collective to have a few repairs and modifications and get up to code for the venue that it is. We're doing shows around the area, and this one will be Sunday night at 7 p.m. at Heroes. So if you're in Two Rivers, you can come see me do comedy. And I'm really, really trying hard to do new jokes. So
there you go.
Wow.
New material. I'm impressed.
That's always fun to do new material. Like, especially when you can couch it between, like, the home runs, the A material. You're just like, I'll throw this one in here. And if it doesn't work, you're like, well, that hurt, but okay, we'll keep doing the material. But I was also once told very vehemently and very, not aggressively, but very like, it's Trivers. We don't call it Two Rivers. We call it So I was like, oh my goodness gracious. So if you want to ingratiate yourself with the community, Trivers. Yeah, it sounds like something like, Doc, I think I have a case of Trivers. Oh, can I get that cream? All right, we're going to be talking more with our good friend Kristen Lighty on the show, but don't go anywhere. If you want to tell us know your favorite superhero, which we may, or we could talk to Kristen about that on the other side of the news, but you can do that by dropping a comment or dropping a line, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on that live stream, or get in touch with us via the Civic Media app. But more with Kristen Lighty right here on Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach on the Civic Media Network. Stay tuned. Stay close. Alrighty. So yeah, all right. We're not okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So we're on the StreamYard right now. We are still FCC compliant, but we're not on the radio right now.
Gotcha.
That was great. Are we? Is this thing happening right now? This is the ASMR portion of the show where we just talk like this. Guys, welcome to Nite Lite.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Welcome to Nite Lite. Just kidding.
That was good.
Thank you.
Are you in Milwaukee?
What's that now?
Are you in Milwaukee?
I'm in beautiful Radio Park, located in Racine, Wisconsin, where WRJN Studios is.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm in Marinette, just north of you. You live in Green Bay, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, yeah, I'm in Marinette, and Dom is in Madison, so we're
yep.
spread out a little bit, but
That's Wisconsin operation.
I know. I think this is the first time you've been on the show where you haven't come in, because it was always fun when you came into the studio in person. But yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll have another studio someday.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Or I have to move to Radio Park.
Honestly, there's plenty of room here. You could live here comfortably, and the only thing you would need would be a shower. There's a full blown kitchen, bathrooms, plenty of rooms to record. You could probably stay here for a solid week to 2 weeks before anyone would notice you were here.
Wow. If I'm ever on the Lamb, I'm going to totally take you up on that.
Because the thing is like the upstairs, it seems pretty, whatever, but you go downstairs and it just doesn't end. It's just a huge basement.
We had in Green Bay, that was a great space. I don't know if you ever used the restrooms there, Kristen, to go number 1 or number 2, but
I have.
But we had 2 showers in Green Bay. There was a shower in each. It's insanity.
Is that why it closed? The excess?
Yeah, probably the water bill.
The water bill. Oh my gosh. Like somebody, I won't name who, last name rhymes with Mwaba, would take like 45-minute showers. Just go like, I must relax.
I would go there on Saturday nights to wash my hair. That's just kind of a
Same thing.
the same thing. Tom would come up for a hair washing party.
Yeah, I would do the same thing.
For a hair washing party. Oh my God.
Though.
Remember the old TV shows and movies where the excuse for not going out with a boy was, I have to wash my hair?
Yeah, that's why I love that's kind of what I was going for. But
Man, the bathrooms here are good too.
oh dear.
They're really good.
The bathrooms in Madison?
Yeah,
They're fine, but one of them's always broken.
Yeah, but beside that, you can get over that with the other one. The other one's insane. It changes my life. Every single time I go.
Is there a bidet? We're talking bidet?
No bidet.
My gosh.
See, that's the one thing it is missing.
I will come and install a bidet. I installed a bidet in all the bathrooms in my house because I want people living European clean in my house.
You have or would?
I do. I would. They're easy to install. They're easy to install.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just like all you do is, it's like it comes in like a little box and you just install it onto the seat itself and you just run a line to the water and it literally would take you 10 minutes to set it up.
I was with you until you said run a line to the water. That's where you lost me. That's where
easy.
I feel like I need outside help. I can go to Menards and buy the bidet.
Again, I will come to your home and show you how to do it. These are the things that people need to learn to do.
To that service.
And I'll tell you what,
Kristen's house in Green Bay.
Kristen, I will stop at your house, and if you want me to teach, and I don't know if you know or not, but like I offer to teach people how to change their own oil. Like
That's true.
There
and
are
it
things
involves a bidet. Interesting.
Exactly, it's very weird. But I will say, awfully refreshing. So, but yeah,
I install it, then take it for a test spin. And it'll be back in Racine before dark.
I have installed all the bidets in my home. I have fixed the toilet. When you become a homeowner, Dom, you have an apartment.
Not for a while.
Yeah. But there's something that like lights up in you like, I got to fix this myself because I don't want to call some person and pay $500 to replace a $20 piece of equipment. So
I have not had that light in me. I do try to call my dad though, so I guess that can count.
If you have some, that's fine. But yeah, that's the thing is like I just rather either figure it out or have a friend help me or someone show me than just call someone in a van and pay them a bunch of money.
15 seconds, guys. 15 seconds.
Okay. Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. You can always get in touch with us. Call or text. The number is the same, 855 752-484-2855, 75 Leave a comment on that live stream. We are currently streaming on Nite Lite Facebook, our WISS Facebook, WAUK Facebook. If you find a station from Civic Media, you'll probably find us here on the show. Our question of the night is, what is your favorite superhero? In light and in view of National Superhero Day, we'd love to know who your favorite superhero is. And still here on the show, our guest, our friend, stand-up comedian, union organizer, all-around great person in general. Love her to death. Miss Kristen Lighty is here. Kristen, who is your favorite superhero?
Robin Hood.
Oh, there you go. There it is. Nice. That's also a very Kristen Lighty on brand answer.
I actually once was at this, it was like a dating mixer, and they asked the question, they were like, what Disney character are you sexually attracted to? I said Robin Hood, and then everyone thought I was a furry because the question was supposed to determine orientation. And I didn't understand that at all.
I wish you would have said
Kristen Lighty loves foxes. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I've heard more than one celebrity talk about their first crush being Maid Marian from that same cartoon, okay? So I feel like you are well within your rights to say, hey, Robin Hood is a foxy gent. So there we go.
Yeah, that's a safe answer.
I mean, the thing is, like, if that was to determine orientation and you said Robin Hood and it was Disney, I'd be like, oh, she likes guys. Like, that's I don't think anything other than that. I mean, I don't understand why they were so perturbed by that answer. But
she likes thieves. She supports thievery. I have to ask you something, Kristen, because we'll talk about your night, Sunday night, again, but also, how do you feel about Ted Lasso? That's what I couldn't remember before the show, Greg, was we talked about Ted Lasso. Are you a fan? I
remember liking it when it was on. I didn't go hardcore like a lot of people did. I think I didn't watch the last episode because I wanted to have something to look forward to. So I should go back and watch that.
There you go. See, Pete was just trying to wind you up because he despises Ted Lasso.
I don't
despise
it.
I'm not a fan. You're not a fan.
The least bit plausible. Nothing
not the
makes sense.
Joy. Again, human joy is not plausible.
Can we make joy can be believable on some level, can it? I mean, this is fiction.
Then every time we watch a movie or talk about a TV show that has an implausible scenario, I'll say the same thing.
That's fine.
Okay.
I applaud that, Greg. I welcome that from you as my co-radio host. So Kristen Lighty is our guest, folks. You can see her this Sunday night at Heroes in Trivers, also known as Two Rivers. Sunday night, 7:00, right? I think the show starts. How do people get tickets? Do they just go to the venue or?
They should buy them online.
Okay.
Beforehand, you can look at the Mad World Artist Collective site, and they'll be there. And then they'll be available at the door too.
Awesome.
Ooh, and then I recently announced the lineup for GBUFO Invasion Fest, the comedy portion.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm also very excited about because we have people that are absolute killers that I thought, no way in hell they're coming. And I asked them, and they did. So we got folks from New York, Los Angeles, Seattle. We got Kate Willett, who has been on Hulu. Netflix special. Curtis Cook, who is a writer for American Dad, very funny, lots of great comedy credentials. Derek Sheen from Seattle, Virginia Jones from Los Angeles, and then Bailey Pope from New York City, who I love so much.
Very cool. When is that?
GBUFO. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so GBUFO Invasion Fest is the music and comedy festival that our local record store puts on every year. And it is July 23rd through the 25th. Manor Astroman is headlining the second night. Digits are doing a reunion show and headlining. We got Pet Mosquito, which is a really awesome new band from Illinois, and they're headlining Thursday night.
Excellent. That's fun. And all those names, the names you listed off are amazing. Derek Sheen is not just a great comedian, but also just, he's older than me, but I always call him a very sweet boy. He's just a very, very sweet young man. And my favorite thing about that man, so they're like, Patton Oswalt has a great joke about working at a casino and the insanity that ensues. And Derek is the opening comedian he references in that joke. And when he told me that, I was like, no way. It is a bonkers story that I just, everyone should listen to, but I love that guy. So he's such a sweetheart. I love Derek so much.
Yeah, it's really a cast of killers, and I am so excited that they are coming. And going to stay up close. That'll be nice.
So where are your travels going to take you? Do you have other live shows coming up in Wisconsin, or are you going on the road?
Yeah, I will admit planning a wedding for the end of the month has kind of taken a lot of my time and space mentally. But May and June, I'm going to be in where am I going? Phoenix and New Orleans. So I'm hoping to pick up some shows there.
Nice.
Yeah, not a ton going on in the summer. I just had a really fun run through Oklahoma City. That was a blast. And yeah, I'm hoping to book more. Call me if you want me to come.
If you want to book Chris and Lighty for a show or party, please go to her website.
Or you just want to hang out,
If you just want to, Kristen's a good hang. I will say that. Very, very fun. Good conversations. When she gets into the topic of horror movies, that's when I have to dip out because I'm like, I'm scared. I can't watch those movies.
Well, and I always have snacks, so come on, it's good.
I am so there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing that, one thing we've talked about before on previous radio shows is that, you are a union organizer in Green Bay. That's the work you've been doing for quite a while now, but you're also a stand-up comedian, and you make that balance work because you do a lot of shows and around the country too, which is always great to see. I mean, that must be living the life because I know how much you love your job and I know how much you love comedy. So like for you, it must be absolutely fantastic.
It really is. My coworkers, I'm on this team of trainers that are from throughout the country, and we come together and we put on trainings on organizing issue campaigns for different union members. And I'll always sneak away and do shows. And last time they were like, tell us you have a show. So I was headlining a show and they all came, and we had a room of 50 union folks. And it was so much fun to perform for my people. It was one of the best nights of my life. So I do really feel like I've found this perfect niche for myself.
I feel like that would be more nerve-wracking doing a show for colleagues with your day gig or your other gig than just going up in front of strangers at a comedy club.
Well, it's nice to know that they'll know where I'm coming from and we'll have the same value. So that kind of feels like, oh yeah, I got this.
I remember way back in the day when I started doing stand-up, and my coworkers at the time, they walked up to my desk, and there's two of them, and they were just standing in front of me, and I was like, what's up? And they both were smiling, and I'm like, what's happening right now? And they're like, you do stand-up? I'm like, oh no. They found my Facebook page. And it was for the next couple of weeks, it was tell us a joke. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not telling you. Please don't do that to me right now. First of all, we're at work. And second of all, give me money. That was always my response. When someone says, tell me a joke, I'm like, give me money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I might lose my job here. You better pay me.
Exactly. Exactly.
If you had done that too, they would have been either take some more lessons or, yeah, that's fun. You're not going to get the response you want to get from coworkers.
Well, also, I don't want to do a tight 5 at my desk.
Right. Do crowd work.
You know what I like to do is just launch into the idea of, comedy is subjective and there's so many power dynamics. And I find whenever I say power dynamics in a conversation, people out, they are done.
Do you do jokes about unions or teaching being your day gig, basically?
I do touch on being a union organizer, but I find it takes so long to explain what I do that it's kind of eating up the set. I'm trying to get better at speaking that language and being quicker about defining what it is, although unions are more popular now. So
yeah, finally.
Take another stab at it.
What's funny is back in the time when I was doing it, I worked at a barber shop as well. I've had a lot of jobs, folks. A lot of jobs. I've had a lot of roads. But when I told my coworkers that I was like, I don't talk about the barbershop on stage. Like I don't like, and one of my coworkers, former coworkers now, was not funny angry. He was offended that I did not do jokes about my workplace. And I said to him, this is a very story-based location. And all of those stories I hear belong to other people. And I'm not going to tell their stories on stage. That, to me, is equivalent of, I mean, it's not joke stealing, but it's taking someone else's experience. Like, I'm not going to do that. And there hasn't been funny things that happen here that I'm going to be like, oh, you'll never guess what happened to my coworker, man. He accidentally drank the barbicide. Like, so, but he was thoroughly offended that I do not do jokes about the barbershop. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you about. And he stormed out. He didn't talk to me for 3 days.
Oh man.
Yeah.
My mom is always like, will you put that in your skits? And to be like, yeah, Mom. Yeah,
totally. Yes, Mom.
This is fun. So where else? I mean, I'm not going to ask you do that question, like where do you get your jokes? But you did tell us you're getting married soon, and you're getting married at a bookstore, which I think is cool. And I love that it's not a big franchise like Barnes and Noble. So what do you have jokes about getting married? That's a stressful time. A lot of people write material based on their spouse to be or a wedding.
Yeah, normally my humor tends to be more self-deprecating, but like it's really hard to find humor in this because he's perfect. So like,
must be nice.
It's like such a hard life. But no, everything is coming together so smoothly. I think the only joke that's kind of evolving out of it is like we're doing it at a bookstore, and then we're having the party at a pizza parlor. So like that Book It program is thoroughly ingrained in my soul.
The party's at Chuck E. Cheese, everybody. They're having a party at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
B. Dalton Books to Chuck E. Cheese. It's going to be a regular.
Kristen, if people want to get a hold of you, if they want to see you, if they want to book you, how do they get in touch?
Yeah, everything's on my website, KristenLighty.com. You can see clips and show dates. I've probably got a bunch because I'm not a good promoter. And yeah, you can contact me there too.
Excellent. And again, tell us where you'll be this Sunday so people can know and people can show up if they'd like.
This Sunday, I will be at Heroes Bar in Trivers at 7 p.m.
Nice. Well, Kristen,
knock 'em dead.
Yeah, seriously, have a great time. They're going to love you. You are fantastic. Whether it was the old shows or now, love having you on, love talking to you. It's so great to see you.
It's so good.
Can I just say one of my favorite cliches before we let you go, Kristen?
Yeah, we'll each do ours. Yeah.
Blow the roof off the dump.
I've never heard that one before, but okay, we're going to put that on a t-shirt. So Kristen Lighty is a union organizer, stand-up comedian, all-around amazing human being, and she has been our guest this evening. So thank you so much, Kristen, for your time. Appreciate you as always.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, when we come back, we'll be wrapping it all up with the nightcap, so don't go anywhere. You are listening and or watching Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. Stay tuned or stay close. Thanks, you Kristen. So much, Kristen Lighty.
Yeah, I totally forgot to even talk about May Day, but I'm sure.
Yeah, we need to talk about that too. We got a thing.
Yeah,
it's May Day.
There's a bunch of actions around the state. People are asking no work, no shopping, no school.
Oh, nice.
Day of protest for fighting the billionaires.
Yeah. Civic Media is also pushing it. There's a thing happening. We should probably mention it. We mentioned it last week, but we'll mention it more this week as well. But yeah,
awesome.
Okay, I was too busy talking about my wedding.
Marrying Mr. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I hope it goes up really well.
Yeah. What did you say? Blow the roof off the dump?
Blow the roof off the dump. Or joint.
I'm going to burn that place down.
Oh, wow. I don't know what's happening right now. All right, Kristen, you have yourself a fantastic night, and we'll talk to you sooner than later, friend.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Kristen.
Bye.
See ya.
Blow the roof off this dump.
You know, if you like the place, you could say, I blew the roof off the joint. If you hate the place, I blow the roof off the dump.
Oh, okay. I'm adding that.
Oh.
So I don't know what.
I don't
know what.
Adding it to something.
He'll just be at Thanksgiving this year and then be like, oh, so it'd be really nice weather. We should blow the roof off this dump. What are you talking about, Dom? I don't know.
That's a comedy thing. I don't know.
And then he just produces a big arch from behind his back.
Why did that
Diversion.
Not to add anything to the story.
Oh, that joke really bombed, but check out this huge burger.
It's like a Big Mac, but grosser.
I feel like I'm just known for Jimmy John's and Big R. I just feel like I'm known for fast food on Nite Lite.
Our resident fast food expert, Dom Lee.
Dom, the Big Arch. That's funny. We can't call him that now. It's all copyrighted. Oh, man. Why is it always so warm? All right, so when we come back from the break, Dom, I'll throw back to you for the last remaining text, Pete, if there's anything from you. And then I have a couple. Yeah, I have a couple as well. So
okay.
Mine are like one-word responses, so I should jam through.
Yeah, mom.
Oh, we should have Emerson Lehman on sometime, guys. He's a news anchor in Green Bay, and he's a really fun guest.
Let's do it. Here, what was his name? So I remember it.
Emerson Lehman.
First full name is Emerson Lake and Palmer. That's his full name.
Would be sweet.
Wow.
Oh, Pete's doing a bump.
Just one more before the.
All
right.
Let's get this nightcap. You guys want to read my screenplay?
I'm so wired.
It's time to wind it down. This is Nightcap with Greg and Pete.
Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. You can always get in touch, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC, or leave a comment on the live stream. We're currently on our Facebook live streams right now on the Nite Lite page or many of the other Civic Media pages. You can also let us know your thoughts on the question of the night, which is, who is your favorite superhero in honor of National Superhero Day? You can do that all right now before we get on out of here. Tomorrow, we're very excited to be talking to author Michael Lee Nirenberg about his book regarding the oral history of making movies in New York City. And I'm actually going to bring up our thoughts on When Harry Met Sally, because that's a very New York film right there. But that's going to be tomorrow in the second hour. Plus, more news, more frivolity, more fun. But before we get on out of here, let's get to some more thoughts and ideas from the folks out there listening and or watching. Dom, who else is on the text line?
Yeah, we have Melissa listening in on WMDX. Says, hi, guys. Wonder Woman is my fave. By the way, Linda Carter is still a smoke show. Okay. All right.
I always thought, okay, really quick here. I was always under the impression that the term smoke show meant fake. Like this whole plot is a smoke show. Like we've fooled you.
That's a smoke screen.
But I know smoke screen, but I always thought smokes. Okay. All right.
I've never heard that before. I just assume it means fire, or she's
fire.
Hot, that kind of thing. I was doing a brain rot quote.
It's so cooked, man. You're straight. You're low-key cooked.
He's cooking.
Oh, that was really good.
That's interesting. I knew Melissa would say that. She kind of looks like Wonder Woman a little bit. I met her.
You just made Melissa's night.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm serious. She and John were at a screening in December I was at, and they're both lovely people. And Melissa kind of has that Wonder Woman vibe.
There you go. What else we got there, Dom?
We also have Dave in Heartland said Daredevil.
Nice. New episode of the second season premieres tonight. Can't wait to watch it.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. The Daredevil TV show on Disney Plus is so good. So good. It's so good.
Is that the John Cena one? No, that's not.
No, that's Peacemaker. That's Peacemaker.
Okay.
Yeah. No, this is Daredevil. This is Marvel. That's DC. Get it right, dude. All right. Seriously. No, but no, it's a different level of because it takes place in the same world from the Netflix shows, but it's also incredibly, there's a lot of cussing, a lot of the most violent thing I've ever seen in a Marvel movie or TV show takes place on this program. Okay. It is, I have to turn my head when they show clips. It's so gross.
Oh, wow.
So, all right. Tucker in our chat says it would be kind of funny to call it Pacemaker.
He picks his spots, doesn't he?
He really does. He really is. And he just made fun of John Cena, who just celebrated his 49th birthday. I'm telling John Cena, and that's up to you, buddy. All right. Do we have any other text messages, Dom?
Yeah, we have one. John from Madison said, also Captain Caveman. When I saw him pull, why do you know who that is? When I saw him pull a city bus out of his fur while searching for a flagpole and then located the flagpole, that was it. He's a magic superhero saving the day. All day.
Spoiler alert! Too much information, John.
He's like a weird variant of Mary Poppins. He just pulls instead of a purse, he just pulls it out of his beard. So, Pete, do we have any other anything on the Facebook?
I did get points with Melissa. She just said, "Aw, Pete."
Oh,
you're very welcome, Melissa. And I meant every word of it. Yes, going to social media. Teresa on Facebook says Deadpool.
Nice.
I don't know Deadpool. I've got to check that out. Patty on social media says another Underdog, another one for Underdog.
There you go.
Emerson Lehman, our favorite anchor from Green Bay, one of them. My mom and dad, for sure, another vote for mom and dad. Awesome, Emerson. And John says TJ Sabula. Do we know that
TJ Sabula?
Could just be the guy who sits next to at the bar.
I mean,
or an actual superhero. And then Jay says Deadpool. Thank you, everybody on Facebook. Those are outstanding.
Yeah. I got a couple on my Facebook page as well here. Let's see. Nikki says The Punisher, another man who could definitely use some therapy. My buddy Phil says Superman has been since I was a little kid, still is today. Chris said Batman always wins. And then Nick says Captain, here's the one I was talking about before. Captain America, especially when he became the hero nomad in the 70s. He lost confidence in the policies of the United States, but still wanted to protect its people. Awesome answer. Love that.
I knew that one would resonate with you. Yeah, that's
heck yeah. Text. Heck yeah, baby.
Great text. Everybody.
All right. So, Pete.
Yeah.
What'd you learn tonight?
Everything about Iran.
Oh, my gosh. Right?
Unbelievable. And that Kristen Leidy truly is a woman of the people based on where she's getting married, having a reception, the jokes she does, her day gig. Love it all.
Her favorite superhero.
Her favorite superhero. That's a lucky guy. He's Mr. Perfect. But also, with Golnar Nigpar, that was really impressive. She was a great guest. Very informative.
I just like doing that. I was Dom totally missed it. Folks who are not listening on the live stream, Dom gives us hand cues to let us know when we need to be shutting up and moving on. And sometimes I just like to give the hand cues right back to him, but he didn't see it this time. So
one night we do that. There's nobody.
Exactly. Dom, what did you learn tonight?
I learned that I'm gonna start watching Daredevil. You persuaded me. It sounds.
Have you seen the Netflix one?
I haven't. No, I haven't.
Start there. And in fact, there is Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage on the Netflix, and then they made a show called The Defenders with all four of them, and then that went kaput. And then they started making Daredevil on Disney Plus. So there's a lot of information.
You persuaded me. Yeah,
I just like that there's a lot of swears.
A lot of swears. A lot of swears. I too also learned everything I needed to know. Well, I need to know way more about Iran as well. So we appreciate Golnar Nigpar for being here, as well as Kristen Leidy for being our guest this evening. Really, really appreciate it. Again, tomorrow we're talking to Michael Lee Nirenberg, an author. He'll be discussing his book, An Oral History of Making Movies in New York City. So stick around for that, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, but there's great programming after this show. So stay close, stay tuned. We love the fact that you're here with us. We always want to thank Tucker and Dom and Traffic and Engineering for all the work they do. Without you, the microphones don't work. Everyone who got in touch with us, left a comment on the live stream, or give us a text message, we thank you. Without you, there is no us. We're going to get on out of here, but don't worry. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, bat station as well. Superhero reference.
Sweet.
Pete, take us on out.
Good night, Wisconsin.
We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night.